Hi, Madison, Maya, Naphtali, and the birthday boy himself, Danny. Um, this took me so long to get set up because I was trying to find my good side. And after 10 minutes, I finally gave up and decided I just don't really have a good side. So I'm just going to go with this and keep the background simple because, Danny, it's really all about you. And, sometimes when people get asked to do these things, and I'm keeping in mind the whole time that the four of you will likely all be seeing this together. And most often it's, people ask, hey, if know of this story of something that happened when we went to school together, or, something like that, or something that that person might not necessarily really want everybody knowing. And the problem I had is I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't think of a single story that I wouldn't want anybody to know. Um, I gotta believe that during Danny's college years, there may have been a story or two, so those would probably come from friends. Um, but as far as family goes, I would have a hard time believing that. You know, a lot of people keep journals and lists and all sorts of things. And I will have to say, we have a big family. And out of everybody, Danny is the only person, and a lot of people will attest to this, that actually keeps a birthday journal. And if it wasn't for him, checking with him sometimes, I would miss some people's birthdays. But what's really remarkable about that is he's not just doing that at his age now. He's been doing this for as long as I can remember. So I'm thinking, like, what little kid, thinks about other kids' birthdays and has a list? Well, that would be your dad. I think that would almost sum him up, because I've never met a person full of more kindness than you, Danny. And you know what? I mean, just want your kids to know that. And I'm sure they hear it, but it's sure nice when they hear it from sources they don't often hear it from, because it just confirms it. And that, I guarantee, you're going to hear from everybody. Um, I've never met anybody who's done just more unprovoked acts of kindness in my life, family or not, by the way. Like, if he was in need, Danny would jump to the rescue, I think. So, and I'll tell you, growing up, um, uh, I wish, especially like Naphtali and Maya, I wish they knew like what it was like when we were growing up. Because, for an example, Saturday nights, it was an automatic that we were at Grandma Miriam and Uncle Joe's house in Oak Park, the whole family. And that was back in the day where even for a casual get together, um, it was put a suit on and a tie and all of that. And we all just got together. And out of all the first round of cousins, I'm sort of the youngest. So, um, it was a privilege that they allowed me to even get involved in their conversations. That's a whole different story altogether. But I wish they could have grown up seeing what it was like, because I almost wish it could be like that all over again, where, we used to do it every Sunday. Sundays in Michigan meant we were going out to, and if the kids don't know about this yet, you can explain it to them after the video. But Kensington Beach. And there's this huge beach. It actually crosses underneath the freeway, and you can go both sides of it. You can go on a ferry boat, and there's like so much to do. There's so many little alcoves and fishing, and it was such a wonderful way to grow up. And we had this tree, and we just called the tree, we're going to meet by the old oak tree. And it was this certain spot, and this was probably some 300-year-old oak tree that everybody met at. And we used to have our own baseball games, and we would do these baseball games, but we didn't have to look out for strangers. It was more strangers, wanted to join in, because we had so much family out there. It would not be uncommon to have a couple hundred people out there, and everybody would bring, fresh fruit or, stuff to make sandwiches with, or, whatnot. But the point of all of it was just to be together. And again, I don't think there's anybody that understands that value more than Daniel Slame. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you get to hear some amazing things. If you get to hear some bad things, they're all lies, because it's not possible. And hopefully moving forward, we can spend a little more time together. I make the commitment to do a little more traveling when the time comes. And but I hope I get to see more of you guys, because that's how family should be. Should be sharing all those really fun times. Anyway, I could ramble on forever, because as I'm doing this, I'm thinking all these things through, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of events I could go over. And I always wanted to learn more from my elders. They weren't always willing to share so much, but the things that you can learn from somebody a little older are really priceless. Like maybe an area you lived in that you knew nothing about, but you came from that area and moved away, before you really got to understand what that area was about. And, I can list a few of those things in growing up for me. So at any rate, let's stay in touch. But in the meantime, for you, it's holiday weekend. So birthday weekend. I hope you have a great time, and I love you all. Take care.